by the men who toil for code. The Arctic OSs have their secret messes that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights crash internet sites, but the worst crash they ever did see was that night in the back with the blades in the rack and the crash of 200.3. Now 200.3 was from a big company in the South called IBM. The firmware updates were made to wait. No time was made for them. It was always hot. The server room seemed to radiate heat like the sun. So remoting in from the programmer's den was the way to get the job done. On a Christmas day, when I got the call that web PO was down, I tried to log in through the VPN as I wolfed my turkey down. But the lines were closed, or the lines had froze, so I mushed to the site to see. And it wouldn't be fun if 200.1 had crashed with 200.3. Myself tight for my ride through blinding snow. My wife now in bed, and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe. Al1 called me, and holy crap, says he, all the blades have crashed, I guess. And if that's true, I'm asking that you won't refuse my next request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, "It's the cursed heat, and it's got us beat. So I thought that I'd better phone. I need to work fast, and you touched it last. So when I get this rack back on the frame, I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll start a rare PO again. A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. I arrived on the site at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. I stood out of his way, and he toiled all day, and he fixed anything he could see. And before nightfall, a case was all that was left of 200.3. In that land of death, and he hurried, horror-driven, with his job almost done, and I couldn't run because of a promise given. It was back in the rack, and he said with a cack, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to fix whatever remains." Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and IT has its own stern code. In the days to come, my fingers were numb, in my heart how I cursed that code. In the long, long night by the fluorescent light, while the IT staff round in a ring howled out their jokes to the other folks, oh God, how I loathed the thing. And every day those structs and arrays seemed to longer and longer grow. And on I went, though the budget was spent and my memory was getting low. The debugging was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in, and I'd fire. Some code I found that was lying around, and my fingers typed like they were on fire. The lines just soared, and the comments roared. Such complexity you seldom see. And I tunneled a hole in the firewall, so this would run on 200.3. Then I made an install for the thing overall. I knew that I soon would deploy, and the heavens scowled, and the IT staff howled at some new joke or some new techie toy. I had tested the code, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. So I went outside and lit up a smoke, hoping that all this would fly. I do not know how long in the install I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about. Why the